There is a new release from the OpenAI team for a tool called DeepResearch, which is their usage of agentic systems. If you're a software engineer and generally curious about the tools released in the AI space, or just want to understand what the buzz is about DeepResearch, do stay to learn more about it in this video. Now, DeepResearch is an agent that uses reasoning to synthesize large amounts. So it's a combination of two things: the use of reasoning or reasoning model and a good application of AI agents or agentic systems. And agents are simply softwares that can think, plan, and execute. So based on X amount of things that are being programmed or based on their behavior. Now, for this one specifically, it can help you come up with a comprehensive report by going through large sources of data information. And it's pretty cool in the sense that you can write less prompts and get very, very quality output. So you don't have to specify endless detail of prompt with previous model. You could keep it like a very simple, straightforward prompt, and you could trust that it will go through the relevant available sources online and come back to give you a very good comprehensive report. So it's a good tool, and it says it's available to pro users, and pro users are the users on the $200 subscription. Also, if you have like a team subscription, is also available. This is just showing how to use it. I also do believe it's a good response to the DeepSeek R1, because now you can see the actions or the activity of this model. And the Perplexity CEO mentioned that people are more likely to use the platform if they can see the thoughts behind how this model actually come to their responses. Previously, in the previous model, the ChatGPT doesn't really show, but now for DeepResearch, they are showing it in like the activity bar, which is pretty cool. So you can also listen. A cool feature just to mention before we proceed is you can chat with the website, which is something I think more websites will adopt over time. The ability of you to just go to a website, have this feature down there and ask it quick questions just to get what exactly is happening can also be a like cool feature. Also, it's this, or you have chatbots by the side. Now back to the video. Why they build DeepResearch is to help with intensive knowledge in areas like finance, areas where data is very important and they have to go through large volume of data just to come up with intuitive and comprehensive reports, is why they built this too, and it's quite niche. So think of a scenario where previously you would have like 5 personal assistants and you give them endless amount of data report for them to go through, and you can just do that now with DeepResearch, right? Although this is the early stages, you would have to validate the results yourself in cases of hallucination, which I believe they would mention as we go through the video. So it's also, they are being mentioned the fact that for areas that require carefully research, like cars, appliances, so it can also be like a good advisor in terms of when you're trying to make purchases, when you're trying to make decisions and so on, which usually you would have had to gone through endless tabs on the browser. But now you can use it, and it's claiming intuitive information will be provided. So it works independently, and it was trained on real world tasks. So that's cool. It wasn't trained on some mundane or artificial task. It was trained on what people would actually want to use it for. So it's a good combination of a good reasoning model plus agentic systems. So how to use it, you just select the feature, and this is the good part. You may take 5 to 10 minutes to complete its work, but what this means is before you utilize it, you should also take some time to think about what you want to ask it, because being this early, it's definitely going to be compute intensive, and you do not want to waste every prompt you enter. So you should definitely take some time out to think about what exactly you want it to do, and to ensure that your time is also well spent. These are just some comparison. These are extra proofs of its performance and possible responses across different areas: shopping, general knowledge, medical research, needle in haystacks, some vague questions, and business. How it works, these are just the technical parts. If you're interested, you could definitely go deep into that. Humanities last exams, which is a way to evaluate how the model performed. These are different models, and this is how it performed. And this is deep research performance, which is quite amazing. That's a great leap from the previous O3 mini. Now, this is like 2 times the accuracy. And GIA, a public benchmark, DeepResearch also had a great leap too. Quite obvious that it's a pretty solid model. And these are some of the further proofs about that, and the expert level task graph. So it's also saying it saved good time, definitely, and it saved time and some extra graph. Now, the other thing is the limitation, which is something worth mentioning, especially in areas where critical decisions are made from the comprehensive reports being generated, things like finance or like in the aerospace industry, things that every data matters. It's saying if you're using this tool, it can sometimes hallucinate facts in responses or make incorrect inferences. Though the rate at which it does this is lower than the existing ChatGPT models, according to internal evaluations. But it's very good to re-review whatever response you get, and it struggles with distinguishing authoritative information from rumors. So they are still working on improving the reliability and accuracy of the response. So that's something to have in mind, not to fully just use this off the bat, but to ensure that you query what you're being used. So this is how it's being rolled out. It's currently available in the US. It starts rolling out to UK, Switzerland, and some European countries. So it's available to pro users, and you have 100 queries per month. So every query is quite important. So all paid users will. So over time, they'll increase the rate limits, and it gets cheaper to use, and they might roll it to the lower tier. That's people want like the 20 something dollars a month subscription. This is what next, and you see the team. They also have the demo. Go watch it, and these are the other things. So this is also the ChatGPT Pro. So this is where if you want to see what the subscription is, if it's worth it, you can check that. All will be in the description. So next we would be looking at what the market is saying, what some people are saying after trying this product. Here's one. We have someone, David, who built like a open source version of the DeepResearch tool, and if you don't want to pay the $200 subscription, you can try out this tool. You might just require some little bit technical knowledge on how to use this locally, but it's also a good alternative. Also, you can add extra custom behavior if there's something else you want to add just to suit scratch your own niche or your own itch. You can do that, and it definitely does require some coding knowledge, so the software engineers can definitely look into this. It also gives you like a kind of a good perspective into not exactly how the OpenAI DeepResearch tool was built, but you would get a good perspective on what it takes to build such. And there's also another one in the comments. So as you go down in the comments, you find I haven't really found what people are saying on using the tool, but from the stars or from the responses, it seems like it's pretty okay. And it's worth trying out, just try it out. If you're liking it, you could also give that feedback. And the cool thing is you could add whatever it is you want inside your own agent behavior. Another one is John Collison. This is one of the founders of Stripe, and he is finding it to be an interesting product, and he likes the output he has been getting. And John is pretty technical, so John is also very curious, and if it's giving this feedback, it means like the tool, it's good, at least for a start. So John is saying, I wonder how much all the advances about real-time access to the complete text of web pages and how much is about extensive COT. Now, there are also insightful feedbacks here in the comments, and the data sources appear to be limited is one of the things mentioned. They are throttling the search, and that's because they might not just be throttling the search, they're also considering the quality of the data sources, which depending on the prompt, which is worth checking, which is not worth checking, just to improve the accuracy of the response. There's also definitely a paper, so you could definitely go ahead, read all those. So, and as always, the response of is replacing certain research rules and all those things, which is quite interesting. But I do believe tools like this are assistive. They are to assist and to help. Although, depending on how sophisticated they get, they can actually become good replacement, but they will definitely need human intervention for management and producing more cohesive results. Now, Patrick, also another Stripe co-founder, say DeepResearch has written 6 reports so far today, and it's indeed excellent. So that's a good one. And Stripe is in the financial industry, and if the two founders are giving this response, it means to a good extent that the quality of the response is up there and it's worth trying out. So do leave a feedback in the comment what you folks think. Is it a good tool? Have you tried it? Also, it's for the pro users. It's not available on the normal subscription. You have to be on the pro subscription. Over time, maybe sometime later in the year, they would roll it down as it gets cheaper. They would roll it down to the usual normal subscription. And that's it for this video.